I'm Johanna. I've created a recipe for Texas Oncology called Holly Jolly Biscotti. It's an Italian-inspired cookie with a Texas twist. Today I'm going to show you how to make it. Let's get started. First I'm going to go through the ingredients with you, which I've prepared here, and we'll start with the liquid ingredients first. We're going to use 3 eggs and then half a cup of olive oil. And I chose to use olive oil today because it's a much healthier substitute for butter or lard. It's also full of omega-3 and omega-9 fatty acids, which are really good for you. Then we'll move on to our Texas orange juice. We have 2 tablespoons squeezed from our Texas oranges. They're a great source of both vitamins A and C. And we have 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now we'll move over to our dry ingredients, where we have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, cup of whole wheat pastry flour, which adds fiber to the recipe, half a cup of sugar, tablespoon of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of salt. From there, we'll add 1 cup of roughly chopped Texas pecans, which add a healthy dose of protein, and 1 cup of dark chocolate chips, which have antioxidant properties. And then I'm going to get medium-sized orange, which I will zest. I'm using a microplane to zest this orange, but you can use a zester or a grater with small holes just as easily. 2 oranges will equal roughly 2 tablespoons full of orange zest, which is what we need for this recipe. So we'll finish up here, get that in the bowl, and then let's preheat our oven so that it will be ready to go when our ingredients are mixed. I've set the oven at 350. One thing I'd like to mention is that I've lined these baking sheets with parchment paper, which helps with even browning as well as easy cleanup. Okay, that's all for the preparation, so let's get to mixing. First, we're going to start with our wet ingredients. We'll put our eggs in the bowl, and we'll add the olive oil, and our orange juice, and vanilla. Okay. Just mix this up, whisk it. So we'll whisk it until it's well combined. And we'll set this down and move over to the dry ingredients. We'll add our flour to the bowl where we've zested our orange. And then we'll keep going. We've got the whole wheat pastry flour, sugar, baking powder, and then the salt. Okay. We'll whisk these together so that the zest is nicely incorporated with the dry ingredients. And then we'll step over here and start mixing our dry with the wet ingredients. So we'll put in a portion of the dry. We'll start stirring. And we'll mix this well, and then we'll add the rest of it. Okay, so we'll get the remainder of the flour in there. Continue to mix. And you can use an electric mixer for this as well. The dough is a little tacky. Don't worry about that. We'll get it all together in a few minutes when we need it. When the dough is close to forming a ball, put it on your floured work surface. And so now we're going to add the pecans to the mix, and we'll start incorporating them in with the dough. Add a few more. Now we'll get the chocolate chips. We'll sprinkle a few in. You want to make sure that you really work this dough so that both the chocolate chips and the pecans are evenly distributed. Because if you don't mix them up really well, you'll end up with pecans on one side and chocolate chips on the other. You might miss out on a little something. Now that everything is well incorporated, we want to take a pastry cutter, or you can use a knife as well. Cut the dough in half. Okay, so you want to press the dough into a log about 9 inches by 3 inches. Now that we've got the dough where we want it, I'm going to get a tray. We'll put this log on here, and then I'll repeat the process with the second piece of dough. Okay, so now we'll take these over to the oven. Looks like it's preheated to 350. So we'll put these in, and then we'll check them in about 20 minutes to make sure they're nice and firm and a little golden to the tops. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes. Let's check and see what we've got here. Oh, beautiful. Oh, they're nice and golden brown, firm to the touch. We'll put them on our cooling rack here. And then we'll check back in about 20 minutes to make sure they've cooled off. Okay, 20 minutes has passed. Now I'm going to check and make sure the biscotti's cooled off, which it looks like it has. Okay, so we're going to move this over to the cutting board and cut on the diagonal in 1/2-inch slices. Make sure you use a serrated knife, as it makes a really clean slice. Once they're sliced, arrange them on the tray. Then we'll put it into the oven for about 10 minutes until they're golden brown. Then take them out of the oven and gently flip them over. Once you're finished with that, then we'll throw them back in the oven for another 10 minutes. Once the biscotti have cooled, they make great packages for holiday gift giving, or add them to a cookie tray for a holiday party. There's no reason not to indulge in Holly Jolly Biscotti from Texas Oncology.